The death tax isn't the only issue up for discussion within the beef industry. The 2012 elections are just a few months away. Cattlemen to Cattlemen recently met with some members of Congress to see how the upcoming elections are going to affect the future of the agricultural industry. More on this week's Cattlemen's Capital Concerns.
The election in November is the most important election in my lifetime because it's really redefining America. The current administration versus the thoughts of our ancestors and our forefathers. Are we going to continue the role or the road of more out of control, unlimited government? Or are we going to go back to the philosophy of our Constitution that government is to be limited by us, we the people, and we are not subjects of government. But it turns out that this election will make us and put us on that road to being more subjects of government that controls every aspect of our personal lives, our families, our economic lives, our businesses, and that is what we are on the road to do. So it's a choice the Americans have: limited government or unlimited government. That's why it's an important election.
It is a very important election. I think we see the country, unemployment, 8+%, 10% in a lot of areas in my home state. The debt, $15 trillion in debt. It just seems like it's out of control.
So the American people have to decide 3.5 years into it, or almost 4 years into it, has President Obama moved the economy forward or not? And I think that's what the decision should be. And then, is there an alternative to look forward? And it appears the Republican nominee will be Mitt Romney, and has a very capable record to move forward. And I think on Congress they got to say, do they want people that will stand up and be leaders? And to me, the biggest issue of everything moving forward, and the jobs in the economy are immediately important, but if you look at what we're doing to our kids and grandkids and borrowing against their future and borrowing from them so we can sustain our lifestyle.
I am very hopeful that people who are concerned about this nation's crushing burden of debt, the fact that we don't want to hand the debts that we're running up to our children and grandchildren, as well as a regulatory regime that crushes ingenuity. So this is the most important election of my lifetime. I'm hoping that people all over the country, especially those engaged in small business and who understand the liberties and freedoms that we enjoy and love and want to preserve in this country, will vote, will get out and campaign on behalf of the candidate of their choice.
Because this town, Washington, D.C., operates in a vacuum without their voice. So if their voice isn't here, then the bureaucrats, the legislation, the regulations, they're going to move forward. But it's going to miss the important part of opinions, the important part of knowledge from cattlemen. And that's why they need to be involved here, make sure that they continue to be involved in the public policy process, because without their voice, there's going to be even, the common sense that's lacking now, even more common sense lacking. And that's why when you have 200 cattlemen in Washington, D.C., it raised the IQ significantly.
Stand up and have your voices heard on issues just like this that have the potential to impact your future in agriculture. Contact your members of Congress by visiting beefusa.org and clicking on Call to Action.